Going live. Hello, good, beautiful day, YouTube. My name is Joanne. For anyone who hasn't been here before, please, you're absolutely welcome here. Today I didn't plan on coming in and talking about anything really. However, I have been divinely inspired to do so. So I'm just gonna wait and see to make sure that YouTube is pushing out all these beautiful notifications to everyone. Boo, boo, boo. So if you're here, if you can let me know if you can see me and hear me and that we are good to go. Because I have some things to chat about, just to offer a little bit of support for anyone who needs it whenever you're watching this video, whether it be live or whether it be 10 years from now. Who knows? I trust that you will come across this video exactly when you need it. Hey, Senga. Thank you, darling. Lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for letting me know that you can see and hear me. Yay. Hi, Joy. Lovely to have you here. Okay, very good. So it has come to my attention. And listen, if you're not in this space, that is absolutely beautiful and perfect. But this video will also be here should you ever need a little gentle reminder or a gentle nudge. So the weather's turned here a little bit. It's much more sweater weather coming into autumn. We're coming up to the autumn equinox. It's a little bit cold. There's more rain. We haven't had much of a summer here in Britain. And energetically, I've been talking about these changes that have been happening energetically. So if you don't know where we are with that, there are videos prior to this one that I suggest you watch. And listen, I'm just here to share. You don't have to believe me. Please question everything. Okay. I just come in when I'm guided to do so. Because I know that the right people hear the message when they need it. The original creator of our soul has ways and means of getting messages to people when they need to hear it. So here I am. So I'm observing some people struggling right now. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of noise. We call it noise. I don't know. Sega, what will we call it? We'll call it noise. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of noise. And I'm observing a few things. Because we've almost came into this new kind of space, what worked before perhaps doesn't work now. And I'm also observing people like just kind of really slipping into bad routines, for lack of a better word. So if you're someone who is struggling, and I don't like the term, but I have to use something, right? And that could be in a job. It could be in a relationship. It could be mentally. It could be spiritually. It could be physically. It could be through illness. However that's showing up. Hey, Mark, lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. However it's showing up, this kind of being out of balance or struggle. It's almost like an uphill struggle. Some people are feeling that they're carrying a lot of weight up a big hill. It's kind of how it feels. And some people have, they just sat down. They can't walk anymore. Some people are continuing to push through one foot after the other, carrying all this baggage. And some people have just went, I'm not carrying this baggage, and it's much more free, and I'm going to run up the hill. And that's where I would like you all to be. I would like you all to be in a space where you can be free from the baggage or anything that's holding you back from really living your best life in happiness and freedom. That's what it's all about for me, okay? It's all about being free in whatever shape or form that is for you. So, there's only a few of you in here, but I'd like to ask you a question, please, if you'll answer it. How do you start your day? How'd you start your day? Senga, if you're here. Joy, if you're here. Mark, how are you starting your day? This is really important. Okay, it's really important how we start our day. So, let me know. How are you starting your day? How we start our day with exercise. Great, Mark. I love that. Who here picks up the phone straight away? Come on. Now, this is a place to be honest, you know. Listen, I haven't really brushed my hair since Saturday, but I have also exercised this morning, Mark. Who here, who, come on, this is a place of honesty. Who picks their phone up and checks it straight away in the morning? Who does that? Joy. At 2 a.m. normally, I do my thanks for the day ahead, shower, coffee, check the does that say mail? I've got a little heart there. Oh, check the maps for my journey and off I go. Beautiful. Hello. That Corey, the little picture's tiny. Mark, would you check your phone straight away in the morning? I don't know, would you? How we start our day is going to set our vibration for the whole day. And do you know how we know this? We know this because if we forget to set an alarm or we don't wake up in time, and we've all done this. We've all done this. We wake up, we've slept in. What happens? What happens on very good Senga, 10 points to Senga. What happens when you sleep in? How does your day go? How does your day go when you wake up and you're like, oh, I've slept in, I'm going to be late, and you tell yourself all these stories. What happens? Is it a good day? Do people normally have a good day if they've slept in, for example? No. Whenever I've slept in, I've been chasing my tail all day. I've been stressed. I've been anxious. I haven't had time to breathe. I normally, if I mean, it's been a long time since that's happened. So I'm recalling a time when I was working like a 9-to-5 job. But I'd be stressed, and I'd be stressed in traffic, and there'd be more traffic, and then all the traffic lights would turn red, for example, and people would be moody. I would be moody back. Like the whole energy setting of how you start your day. And if you sleep in, you tell yourself you're going to be late. You're late for everything the whole day. Is that do you guys agree? Do you remember a day where you've been and you've hi yes? Do you remember a day where you've slept in and the whole day just went to shit? The whole day. The whole day. And it's not even like on these days it's the whole day. The whole day's written off. Do we agree? Thank you, Senga. So this is why we know how we start our day sets our vibration and our frequency for the whole day. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people have done my 21 days awakening and the second one and all the rest of it, but it's almost like a lot of people have forgot. A lot of people have forgot this. So I'm putting a little reminder out there. Okay. I know a lot of you know this. I know a lot of you do this stuff, but for whatever reason, this is what I'm being asked to share today. So here I am. Okay. So how we start our day is going to set the vibration for the whole day. And you can, of course you can. Of course you can. You've got choice. You can take control of that day and you can change it. Of course you can. But it's difficult. And that, hey, Billy, and that uphill struggle that I'm talking about, that you start your day like that, it's an uphill struggle. Okay, we don't want to have uphill struggles. We want to just be like, wee. We want to just be woo. Just on this lovely little plateau of being able to choose and do whatever we want to do, right? Like this. With no blocks, nothing getting in our way, just like, woo, just have a lovely flowing day. So, what happens if most people's alarms are on their phones, yeah. And if we do have to get up with an alarm, then we pick up our phone straight away. Distraction. There could be email, social media. I've gone right back into social media because I was pulled to. Do you know how I spent my Saturday night? Go and have a guess. Go and have a guess at how Joanne spent her Saturday night, because you'll never guess. You'll never guess, because I would never in a million years have thought that I would be spending my Saturday night the way I was spending my Saturday night. Trust me. Nobody guessed. Well, I'll just tell you, will I? I fell into a TikTok hole, and I could not believe the amount of children that were live. And by children, I mean children. I mean between the age of 10 to 16. I mean children. Completely innocent children who are looking at TikTok and thinking that that's what they want to do with the rest of their life. And how or why they have access to this, I'm not judging. But I watched these super innocent 10, if they were that, selling little plastic bracelets, right? And then I observed people with ill intention. These kids don't know that anybody had any ill intent. Oh, do gymnastics, do a headstand. Because these little girls were in shorts and they were in little tops. And honestly, I felt sick. So do you know how I spent? Do you know how on the lashing class go? No. I spent my Saturday night, 3 hours maybe 4. I went through TikTok and just spent my time reporting these live streams in trying to protect these kids, trying to get these live streams down, because they were just so innocent. They had no idea, and they were doing all sorts of things for a rose, which I don't know, isn't even 1 pence. Like, And then I learned yesterday it was fruitless because even though they take the lives down, they don't take their channels down and they just go and do it again. So I won't be spending my time doing that again. But my point is that social media, predominantly isn't a high vibrational space. Okay. I know that if I go to my phone in the morning, I'm going to be tempted to look at something that's going to affect my vibration. Okay. So I have an old phone that isn't connected to the internet, that's got no apps on it, sits by my bed, and it wakes me up in the morning. Okay. Now it actually vibrates because I don't like to be woken up with anything loud or an alarm as such. So it vibrates, and it actually vibrates to a heartbeat. Okay. So it mimics a heartbeat. And because it's beside me, it wakes me up. Okay. My phone that is connected to the internet, the phone that I use, is kept downstairs in the kitchen. It's nowhere near my bed. Nowhere near my bed. Okay. Um, Queen Victor, I've been doing the same thing, Joanne. I've even messaged a young boy's sister saying he was too young and at risk from predators, and she just says we're keeping an eye on it. Yeah, yeah. Do you know? I was shown. I was shown yesterday. There's just no point. But anyway, I had to learn because I still have to know what's going on in the world. So it's important sometimes that I get shown these things and I do these things. But yeah, I feel there's just no point. There really isn't any point. So if you are struggling right now, whether it be in a relationship, a job, with your health, whatever it is, do yourself a favor and don't look at your phone first thing in the morning. Okay. And just try it for 21 days, a month. Try it for a while. Yeah, I don't have a telly in my bedroom either. No. It's all just distraction, isn't it, Joy? Like it's all just distraction. Some people can't go to sleep without that. I need to read to go to sleep, but so if you're struggling, whether it be your health, your mental health, relationship, whatever, do yourself a favor and don't look at your phone for the first hour. Okay? You don't need to look at your phone. You don't need to look at your phone. You don't need a phone. You don't need a phone in the morning. Okay? You don't need it. You don't. If you don't have an old phone as an alarm clock, buy an alarm clock. Okay? I'm going to tell you the first hour of your day is so important. Okay? Hydrate. Who gets up first thing in the morning and has a coffee? First thing. What is coffee? Coffee is a diuretic. So we wake up, guilty, guilty as charged, Your Honor. But what you realize about that coffee is like it's almost it's a routine. You just get up, like half asleep, and you're putting the kettle on. You're already dehydrated when you wake up in the morning. Okay. And the best thing you can do is just have a little bit of drink of water. Okay. Even if while you put the kettle on, you have a drink of water, because I like a coffee in the morning. Okay. But you are predominantly water. Okay. And if we're talking about this energetically, what you're telling yourself is you need coffee to give you energy. You shouldn't need energy when you get up in the morning. You just had a full night's rest. But if you're telling yourself that you need coffee for energy to wake you up, no, you don't. You don't. You can do whatever you want, But you don't need coffee. Okay? What you need is to not look at your phone for an hour and get a glass of water. Okay? And move your body. Okay? This kind of slow getting up. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just here like sharing what I've learned. You can do what you want. You do what you want. Yeah, Mark. So I'm going to talk about my routine in a little bit, but yes, agreed. Most people require magnesium. Agreed. So be aware of the stories you're telling yourself when you get up in the morning. You tell yourself you need coffee. Why do you need coffee? You've just had a whole night's sleep. You just, and even if you haven't slept, because people will go, but I don't sleep. You've rested. Your body's rested. You haven't been moving about. You haven't been walking, and for about 4 hours, your body's rested. So you should have energy there, okay? But if you tell yourself you don't have energy and you're needing something else to give you energy, it's not helpful. It's not going to help people with mental illnesses. It's not going to help with anxiety. Not going to help with anxiety. It's not going to help with depression. It's not going to help with any of these things. It's not going to help with anything you're worried about, okay? Because it'll just heighten it, right? So be aware of the stories that you're telling yourself first thing in the morning, okay? And I'm no expert and I'm not giving anybody any medical advice or anything at all, right? But getting your feet on the ground, bare feet on the ground, is going to be very beneficial. And there are studies done now, okay? There are studies done whereby they've taken somebody's blood and it's not looking great. It's not really moving about freely. I don't really know how blood's supposed to look, right? I'm not a phlebotomist. Is that what they call them? However, then they put somebody just to get their bare feet on the ground for 10 minutes. They take the blood sample again and the blood's moving better and it's looking much more healthier, okay? Our bodies want to be connected to the earth. So if you can get your feet on the soil, you get up in the morning. I do this in every weather, so there's no excuses. You can make excuses. You can do whatever you want, but don't tell me you're struggling. Okay, don't tell me you're struggling. Unless you're willing to make changes. Negative ions, Mark. Yes. Right. So your feet really benefit. And if you can do this during sunrise, I mean, I'm sure the sun rose today because it definitely got lighter. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the sun. But I mean, it's definitely there behind all the rain clouds and the storm that we've got. But regardless, I'm outside, okay? My eyes are still taking in the light. My body is still taking in the light. And that is providing me with energy, okay? I don't have to have a cup of coffee in the morning. I can. There's nothing wrong with it. However, it's going to be much more beneficial to me if I don't look at my phone for an hour and I have a glass of water to start with and I get my feet on the ground for 10 minutes and I allow the natural light as the sun's coming up to fill my body. And moving. You want to move your body, okay? You're going to feel pretty sluggish during a day if you get up, you leave your phone. I'm not judging anybody. I've done this. I still have days where I do this, right? I feel crap for it. Yesterday, I didn't do any of this, and I just sat like all day, like, and my body needed rest, and I was lazy, and I'm okay. I allow for days like that. I couldn't live my life like that. So if you get up, look at your phone, and then put on the kettle, and then you have your coffee, and then you're sitting inside. And then you're reading while you're having your coffee, you're scrolling on all this negative stuff that's going on in the world. How do you think your day is going to go? Because even with the best will in the world, even if you follow the most like positive people, you're going to come across negativity. You're going to come across agendas. You're going to come across distortion. You're going to come across distraction. How you start your day is how the rest of your day is going to go, unless you have to really work hard. Here's how I start most of my days. I'm not suggesting for you guys to do this, but this changed my life. How I start my day in the morning changed my life. And I do things a lot differently now than I did before and during our spiritual awakening. But this can everybody and everybody, it doesn't matter what you believe in. You can do this. Right. And I honestly, if people were just to do this for a month, fully commit, you would stop struggling. You would stop struggling. Your alarm, make sure it's not abrasive. So what happens is I have a phone that is offline, and when the alarm goes off, it's a vibrational heartbeat. I'm like, sometimes I'm tired, but majoritively I'm like, yeah, another day. Thank you for this beautiful day. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful to have this beautiful day ahead of me, full of whatever I choose to fill it with, right? Feet on the floor, go for a wee. Downstairs, I have a hydrated water. It's like a kettle, right? So instead of turning the kettle on, I press that button. Starts hydrating my water. Okay. I now this is 5 o'clock in the morning and it's dark here at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's much harder to do this in the dark than it was in the summer. Trust me. Okay. It's taken a while to get back into this kind of rhythm as well from the holidays and stuff. So that goes on. Haven't looked at my phone. Not looking at my phone. There's a clock on the wall. I know what time it is. I'm good with the time. Okay. I've got I've got another device that plays music. I get my headphones, I get my music, I drink my water, I grab some more water to take outside with me, and then I go and I dance in my garden for at least an hour. I dance in my garden in the dark for an hour with barefoot, and it was peeing of rain this morning. Okay, it's not warm here. It's 14 degrees right now, Celsius. I was outside in my bare feet for an hour and a half this morning, dancing. No coffee. Hadn't had a coffee yet. Okay. And it lifts my mood. Lifts my mood. Okay. Even though I'm like, oh, part of me is like, oh, it's raining, it's cold, it's dark. What am I doing? I do it because I feel so much better for it. I'm very blessed to have a hot tub. So then I get into a hot tub. And then I get into the cold tub. And then I have a shower. I do hot and cold water. And then I get my little boy up. I make sure he's got his breakfast. I then put on the kettle and have my coffee. And I just sit. I sit. I sit without telly. I sit without a book. I just sit. I sit. I sit and I drink my coffee with nothing else going on. And I just allow myself to be. And then I go on with my day. And that really, 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 really starts me in I'll do that in the snow. I'll do it in the rain. I'll do it in the sun. I'll do it in every weather because this is how I choose not to struggle. I choose to be free. I choose to be in control of my own life. Okay. And this is what helps me be happy and free and joyful and in a place of balance. You don't have to do any of that. But I'm letting you know how you start your day. It's very important. Senga, I'm visiting Ayrshire on the 9th of September. Looking forward to visiting Scotland, but bare feet. Try the North Sea. We kid on that we have extra layers of skin here. But I carry some extra fat because I'm good to be out. And that's my excuse. I'm sticking it. I'm good to be out in the outside, but it's very important also to move our bodies. Okay, we want to get our bodies moving. It's going to help. It's not going to take away your energy. It's going to increase your energy. Okay. Some people do breathing, Mark. Yeah, absolutely. That helps as well. Okay. No, Senga. You're not for it. That's good. Beautiful time to be coming to Scotland, Senga. Autumn, all the leaves are starting to change color. It's beautiful, beautiful time of year. Okay, so that's number one. All right. How are you starting your day? And know that it sets your vibration. Stop making excuses. Okay. If you're struggling with something, stop making excuses for it. Okay. Right. The next thing, what are you surrounding yourself with? So, what do you surround yourself with during the day? What kind of people? What kind of noises? What's on your phone? What's on your television? What's on the radio? What kind of music is there? What kind of people are around about you? What are you reading? Because what you surround yourself with, it's also affecting your energy. Okay. At any point during the day, if there is somebody annoying you, if you're feeling upset, if they've upset you, if situations are getting to you, if your brain just won't shut off, if whatever, do you know what you can do? You can just go and take yourself away from it all, whether you're working, whether you're whatever, right? If you're at home, go and have a 10-minute walk. It's 10 minutes out your day. Don't tell me you don't scroll for 10 minutes. Leave your phone. Don't leave your phone at home for 10 minutes and go for a walk around the block. Put it down. Step away. Step away from whatever it is that's causing you any kind of stress, anything that you're perceiving as your outside world. Step away from it. Go to the toilet. Stand at the back door. Whatever it is, you are in control and you always have choice. So whether you're working 9 to 5, that's fine. But something's annoying you, up and out. Go to the toilet and sit. Whatever. Take a toilet break. Whatever. Welcome, Jenny. Thank you for being here. Hi, Fiona. A little 10-minute walk during lunchtime, or just get yourself, be aware of what you're surrounding yourself with. Okay. The next thing is, are you in victimhood? There's all different levels of victimhood, and nobody likes victim, and nobody likes to play the victim, and nobody likes to think they're the victim. Nobody wants to be the victim. Nobody likes to point it out if they're being the victim. There's something about that that really riles us as human beings, right? Nobody wants to be a victim. Well, don't make yourself one. And this is some kind of hard talking stuff here, okay? But if you're struggling with illness, stop moaning about it. Because all you're doing is adding to it. Okay? If you're struggling with a relationship or a friendship, stop moaning about it. There's a difference between talking to somebody and moaning and complaining. Okay? If you are, I know people that are in relationships and they just constantly whinge. That's all they're creating. Whatever they're putting out there, it's coming back at them, right? So be aware of where you're in victimhood. Where are you giving your power away? Don't do that. Don't do that. Do what you want. I'm not telling you what to do. But I'm asking you, please don't do that. Please don't be the victim to an illness or a situation or a person or a work situation, whatever it is, right? Take control. Okay? Make change. If you want to see change, you have to make change. Okay? You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different to happen. It won't. So when in a place of struggling with whatever it is, stop being a victim to it. Stop giving it any energy, whatever it is. The truth is, from where I am, everything is you. There's nothing really outside of you, so it's everything. So if there's a problem with work, it's not really a problem with work. There's something going on with you. If there's a problem with a relationship, not really a problem with the relationship. It's actually, it starts with you. This stuff is all inside of us. We have to completely love ourselves. We have to completely forgive ourselves. We have to completely accept ourselves. We have to take full responsibility. And it's work. But it's the most rewarding work you will ever do. To be free from suffering, to be free from pain, to be free from trauma, to be free from mental illness, to be free from whatever it is. It's the most rewarding work you will ever do because you're doing it for yourself and nobody else. So if you're in any state of suffering anything just now, okay, if there's anything out of balance, where are you in victimhood? And be honest with yourself and take control of that shit. Corey, do you suggest for how long to quite loud psychic fields or loud thoughts without having a phone distraction? This happens a lot with bigger soul trauma, is how loud it can get. Do you have a suggestion for how to quiet loud psychic fields or loud thoughts without having a distraction? Right, I see what you're asking, Corey. Speak to it. Speak to it. So if you have a thought process, for example, that let's call it a story. Can we call it a story, Corey? If you have a story that is like replaying, and let's say it's not worthy, okay, like, and this is victimhood. I'm not saying this is you. I'm just giving an example, right? So if it's like, an unworthy thought system of, I'm not worthy of having a partner, a loving, caring, balanced partnership. And that is a program or a memory that's just like running. Just talk to it. There's a lot of stuff within, and people call the shadow, call it what you will. It doesn't matter what it's named. But there's a lot of like pushing it away or telling it to clear off or, not accepting it. Sit with it. Sit with it. Okay. What is this thought? What is this thought? Why is it here? Why am I having this thought? Okay. Why? How does it make me feel? Am I in victimhood to this thought? Am I giving my power away? Is it even real? Because it isn't. And be grateful for it. Acknowledge it. Thank you. Thank you for coming and teaching me my worthiness, for example, Corey, right? Thank you for bringing to my attention that I don't feel 100% worthy. And I'm so grateful because I am 100% worthy. And then I would just say, I am worthy, 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 I am worthy. Whatever the program is, rewrite it. We have to get better at rewriting these programs. I still feel the only way I can calm the noise at times is music, but I can tell the phone isn't helping either. Right. Yeah. What'll happen with distraction is it'll just prolong whatever it is that we're being shown to deal with, and to quieten it down, it's not going to help. It'll just get louder, Corey. In my experience, anyway. If there's something coming up to be dealt with, it'll get louder until it's dealt with. And louder and louder and louder and louder and louder and louder until it's like screaming at you. And this is why, I feel this could be happening with a lot of people right now. And as I say, it could be somebody that catches this video in 3 years' time. Doesn't matter. Whatever is coming to you, okay? What is the program that you're not liking? And why are you letting it run? It doesn't have to run. That program doesn't have to run. You have to make a change. You have a choice. You can continue to let that program run. You can do something to bring in distraction, which just means the program will get louder. Or you can just sit and go, what is it? What do you want from me? What is it I haven't learned yet? Right? I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. But putting distraction there, it doesn't help. It'll just make it louder. Taxation, Mark. Well, what is taxation teaching you, Mark? Okay. And the other point that I've wrote down today with regards to anybody who's struggling, what brings you joy? What brings you happiness? And I'm not talking about to distract. I'm talking about to actually embody that emotion. Because once you've sat with it and you've acknowledged your victimhood and you've gone into, you can then be grateful for it and you can rewrite the program to a program because it's choice. It's all just choice, right? Finding what brings you joy. What brought you joy last week might not be bringing you joy anymore. Find what it is. For me, maybe not straight away, like when I'm putting my headphones on, it's freezing cold and it's raining and, my feet are cold and the grass is wet and I'm like, oh, what am I doing this for? And I remember my health, okay? I remember my well-being. I remember my to live the happiest, most fulfilling life that I can. Because I guarantee you, after 5-10 minutes of moving my body, I'm smiling and it's all worthwhile. Okay. So that brings me joy. Like it brings me joy and that sets my vibration for my whole day. And it might be completely different for you and that's perfect. You just have to find what it is for you and also allow that to change. Like my rhythms within the morning have completely changed over the years and I've just had to be in a space and it's not right some mornings. Like some mornings it's just not right for me. I'm not meant to be in that space and I have to allow for that as well. I don't like a routine. My brother Thomas taught me about rhythm rather than routine. So thank you for that, Thomas. So what am I inspired to do in that moment that's going to bring me joy, that's going to set my vibration up for the day, Hey, Julie. Me, Julie. Lovely to see you, darling. So for anyone who is in a space of, struggling with whatever it is, here's the 4 points to take on board, right? And if you don't take these on board, don't be whining or moaning or complaining about it. Or do, but I'm not going to listen to you. How are you starting your day? How are you starting your day? And it might be tough to change things. Of course it is. We're programmable beings. That's why we're trying to erase all this programming. We're trying to clear all this programming, right? To get to a complete nil point, this balance point. We actually don't want any programs. We want to just have a direct line to original creator of divinity, you know. But there's a process to get there. And if we have programs and we can't delete them, we need to rewrite them. Okay. And once we've rewrote them, we can then get to a process of deleting them and come into a place of balance. But it's all these different stages of this ascension process as we go along. Okay. So how you starting your day? Okay. Can you get up an hour earlier to set the tone for your day? Because I guarantee it'll change your life. You will change your life if you do that. Okay. Look at what you're surrounding yourself with. If you're anxious, why are you surrounding yourself with plans of the future? And, you know, you're not in the now moment, right? If you're depressed, why are you surrounding your stuff with people that talk about the past or are stuck in the past? Or you're looking at, you know, photos of years ago, or you're looking up people from years ago. Or if you're depressed, you're living in the past, stop it. Okay. Come into the present. Where are you in victimhood? Where is somebody else to blame? Where are you not taking responsibility for everything? Where are you not taking responsibility? Take that responsibility. Okay. Be grateful for whatever it is. And then do something that makes you happy, truly happy. Okay. And I'm hearing like, oh, I don't have time for that. Make time. Or don't. Simple. Like, you want to carry on being miserable and complaining and in victimhood or not happy or whatever, carry on, right? Or make time. Because people that tell me that they don't have time, they should really go to have a look at how much time they're spending on their phone. Genuinely, a lot of that comes down to that. Social media and phones have so much to answer for. But it's your choice to pick it up. I've recently just put a timer on my social media so that once it reaches a certain time, it just shuts everything off. So I can't use it. There are things that you can do. Okay. There are things, nobody's helpless. Nobody's helpless. Okay. But you have to take control of your life. You have to change the things that aren't working for you. And you do it in little steps. You don't want to get up an hour early in the morning, get up 10 minutes. And stand outside with a glass of water. Barefoot. And then have your coffee, right? 10 minutes. Start there. Just start there. And I'm talking from a place of I've been depressed. I've been anxious. I've been suffering. I've been victimhood. I've been all these things. I've been them all. But I choose not to be there anymore. And these are steps that I took that helped me change my life. And I'm just sharing them with you. So you can take them, you can leave them, you can do whatever you want with them. It's quite a strict kind of serious live today. Beautiful people. And maybe that's why there aren't a lot of people on. Maybe that's why there aren't a lot of people on. Listen, if you are in a space where you can't do this yourself, okay, if you're in a space whereby you're needing, so what I'm seeing just now is like a little safety net as you're walking over the tightrope, okay, this is what I do. Okay, this is what I do. I assist people to get from A to B. And you can call it coaching, you can call it mentoring, you can put whatever heck a label you want in it. I just assist people to find their joy and to live in their joy. That's what I do. I help people find their own happy. But they have to be willing to make changes. Have to be willing to add to make a commitment to themselves, because nobody's healing you. Nobody's saving you. Nobody, apart from you. And if you're at a point in time whereby you feel you can't do this alone, there are options. Okay. I have, within the Patreon community, is probably your best bet. Now, there are very, very few and far between spaces here with regards to the monthly work that I do with people. I think there's 2 spaces left within the 30 minutes a month mentoring coaching that I do, and there's 2 spaces left within the hourly ones that I do. We meet 30 minutes every month, or an hour every month. I hold you accountable. I help you hold yourself accountable, and I help you change your life. And on top of that, you then have access to all the support from the family that's there as well. There's also my website. I don't have a lot of session work available at present, because time. But if you feel there's something, if you go into Patreon, for example, and there isn't session work available there, and it's something that you're needing and you're wanting supported, listen, always reach out to me. If I can't do it, I can't do it. But if it's divine and it's meant to be, then there it is. I have helped so many people help themselves. Okay. This is why I don't want the term healer. I don't want the term, because we have to do this stuff ourselves, but we have to know where to start. And it can be like walking a tightrope, way, way high up in the air. Nobody that learns to walk the tightrope walks that without a safety net underneath them. And that's all I am. I'm a net to help people if they fall, pick them back up, put them back on the tightrope. You will get from A to B. And I will be that safety net for as long as it's required by that person, unless I feel that they're not doing the work, unless I feel that they're relying on me, then I'll take that safety net away. So, that's options. That's options if you feel that you're really needing somebody just to hold your hand for a little bit, okay, to help you help yourself. But you don't have to. You can do all this stuff by yourself, okay? You can do this. You do it by making small changes and sticking to them. You have to stick to it. You can't just do it for a day and go, oh, I don't feel any better. You can't just do it for 2 weeks and go, oh, I don't feel any better. Okay. You have to be consistent with the changes that you're making in your life, because it's only from like a month, and you'll realize that, oh, hold on a minute, like I'm not doing that thing anymore, and I'm not complaining anymore. And actually my body feels much better. Like I'm not so sore anymore. Those thoughts that I had in my head, actually, they're not there anymore. It becomes this progression where you just realize, whoa, like I've changed my life. And I didn't even, it's not like you go to sleep one day and you wake up, you decide one day, right, I'm going to make changes in my life. And then you go to sleep and then you wake up the next day and everything's perfect. It's not how it works. Okay. It's not how it works. We need it though to save our own arse. Very serious times, Julie, I know. Well, yeah, straight talk. Well, you'll know, darling. I'm a straight talker when need be. There's a time and a place for everything. Hi, Joe. Okay, you have a little watch of this. You have a little watch of this, Joe. Okay, you have a little watch of this later, and hopefully it'll support you. Okay. Loopy loo, all is well right now, rinse and repeat. But sometimes things aren't well, like loopy loo. What happens when things aren't well? What happens when people get diagnosed with a terrible, it's okay to say like all is well right now when you're in that place of all being well. But, I'm being surrounded right now by people struggling, people getting diagnoses, like, and it's difficult because most people don't reach out, and that's okay. But that's why I'm here, and I'm sharing this for anybody and anybody to access. Like, it's great to be in a place where you can be all as well right now, and everything's exactly where it's meant to be, and it's beautiful because that's where I am. But had somebody told me that when I was in the depths of my depression, or I was suicidal, or I couldn't get out of my bed with fibromyalgia, or I was suffering really bad, where like I couldn't leave the house for 6 months, like I couldn't tell myself that, I couldn't tell myself all is well right now, because it wasn't. It was shit. I felt like I didn't want to live anymore. And it wasn't well. It wasn't. So I've been to these places, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to let people know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I've changed my life from somebody who hated myself. I didn't really have a reason for it, but I hated myself. I couldn't look in a mirror. I didn't leave my house for 6 months. I was so depressed. I was constantly anxious. I suffered all these panic attacks. Like, my mental health was shit. My physical health was shit. Like, everything, everything just fell by the wayside, and it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. I was in the absolute depths of depravity, and I put myself there. I put myself there. There was nobody else to blame. I put myself there. So there might be people watching this that are there. There might be people watching this that are scared because they've maybe a diagnosis of an illness, or somebody close to them has. What do you do? What do you do? You can only work on you. We can only do us in every given moment, bringing ourselves back to that center. But how do we do it? We need to have these tools. We need to change our life so that we can get to this beautiful point, Loopy Loo, to get to this beautiful point of being like, yes, all is well right now. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And no matter what it is comes in, you can be at that point of like, okay. Because that's where I can move through things so quickly now. I'm not affected by life. Life isn't affecting me, but it used to. It used to. And, it wasn't that far away. It wasn't in the very distant past. I can still very much feel what it was like to be in that space. And I'm witnessing it everywhere, all around me. And there are just these really, really simple things that we can do to change our lives. But we have to make the change. We have to make the change to get to all the good stuff, that freedom, that joy, that being able to be in a space where you're like, okay, like, I can see what this is coming in. I can be grateful for it. I can take responsibility for it. I can do forgiveness. I can love it. I can, all these things. But there are people that just aren't, they're not there. They're not there yet. And that's okay. It's perfect. It is perfect. But at the time when you're in there, it doesn't feel perfect. It doesn't feel okay, and change has to happen. And I just want to be that inspiration to people that, I changed my life. I did. Nobody else could do it for me. There was nobody that was going to save me. I had to look at all the shitty things that I did in life, and I had to look at all those decisions that I made, and I had to take responsibility for it all, because I always had choice. I maybe never had the awareness that I have now of that choice, but I still always had choice. And I wouldn't change my life for a thing, not one part of it. I wouldn't change any of the trauma or the pain or the hurt or anything that happened to me. But I can be in a place now of gratitude and appreciation for what I have learned and how far I've come. But there are people that are struggling. And I don't want to see people struggling anymore. Anyway, I'm going to go off the soapbox and stop crying now. Yeah, Julie, exactly. Like, we're human, and this is this whole part of it, this ascension through the chakras, this process that we're going through, this energetic process is, it's all fine and well to like pop off into the spiritual realms and, you know, speak with angels and multidimensionality and all that stuff. And, you know, there's a place for it. And there's a place for it in my life, but it's all about balance. And I have to be human. I came here to be human. A lot of that stuff is just like distraction from being human. You know, how many light workers, starseeds, spiritual people, like whatever term you want to use, don't like being human. Go fucking suck it up, because that's what we have to be. It's what we came here to be. You know, we came here to be human. This is it. This is a test. This is a soul choice, is to learn how to be human and how to be happily be human and how to love being human, how to love being a conscious human, how to accept it all, how to take responsibility for it all. Like, this is what this is all about. So that human element of course, there's going to be terrible things going to happen and there's going to be things that affect us. But what do we do with that? What do we do with it? Do we allow ourselves to be a victim to it? Or do we rise? You know, we're in a time where, you know, we got to sort our shit out. You know, or we're going to suffer. Faking it till you make it. We can do that too. Corey, it feels like so much progress and then a few days of huge digression, steady movement. But that's okay too, you know? It's okay. It's okay to be in a place where you're not okay, but what do you do with that when you're in that space? Oh no, I've gone back. Right? Oh no, something's out to get me, or oh no, something else is pulling. It's all you. It's all you. All of it. All of it. You're doing it to yourself. And that is so hard to hear. So hard to hear. So hard to accept. But that's the truth of this from where I am. People aren't going to like me saying that. And that's okay. You don't have to like it. But when I started doing the work that I was doing, and I was talking to these attachments, and I was talking to these demons and all these things, they were just a person. They were just a person. I couldn't understand it at the time. And I was like, what the frig is going on here? Like, that's just mental. It isn't. It makes complete sense. It's all us. If we're suffering, it's because we've chose to suffer. So we had to put that suffering there for us to learn whatever it is we had to learn. And what do we have to learn? We have to learn to be grateful, to love and accept ourselves, to take responsibility, to be happy. Acceptance. It's a big learning to have yourself no matter where you're at, no judgment or blame. Absolutely, Julie. It's massive. The awareness gets quicker. Yeah. Self-forgiveness is the biggest challenge I've found. Well, do you know, VB, thank you for your comment. I thought forgiveness was I thought forgiveness for myself was the hardest thing that I ever came across. It's nothing near acceptance. Acceptance for everything is the most single-handedly hardest thing. Harder than any trauma I've ever had. Harder than any pain I've ever been thrown. Harder than any of that. Acceptance. When you're asked to fall in acceptance for everything and everybody and knowing that there's nothing you can do about anything, you just have to accept it, and all you can do is you. Oof. You know, and it's still, you know, it's a work in progress for me. It really is a work in progress for me. Acceptance is like, is massive. But again, it's all these stairs that we're climbing on and get out of victimhood. And then, you know, we got onto the stair where we're like, oh, responsibility. And then we learn this, oh, forgiveness. Yeah, we can do forgive. But we talk about layers, you know. we talk about these layers of healing and trauma and all the rest of it. These layers are really just about it all. True forgiveness, you can't just forgive other people and not forgive yourself. You can't just forgive some people but not forgive others. You know? Like, you can't be like, "Oh, like, I forgive, I forgive this person that caused me so much pain, but I don't forgive the government because they've did this." That's victimhood. People aren't gonna like it, but it's victimhood, okay? When we fall and that's what the layers are. You can have this layer of forgiveness where you forgive the people that hurt you in your life, but that's not true forgiveness. You then have to go into a space where you forgive yourself for everything, for it all. Always, okay? But then you have to be like, true forgiveness is forgiveness of everything and everybody, every situation. These are these different layers that are like, that are like pulling off. Yeah, I'm not there with acceptance, Mark. Mark, I accept, you accept. Um, and it's the same, it's the same with, it's the same with acceptance. Like, I can accept the things that I choose to do, but I also have to accept every other choice that everybody else makes because it's none of my business. And that's hard. That's like, in fact, I probably wasn't in here when I was talking about this. It was probably just Patreon. But, for a while, I was just seeing all these like burning buildings, and I was just seeing like having to watch these people like choosing to walk into these burning buildings. And that's acceptance. If people are just choosing to put their hand back in the fire after they've already put their hand in the fire, after they've already put their hand in the fire, I have to accept that. There's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is accept it and find that peace within myself. We can't have true peace without having true acceptance either. Kelly! Oh, always lovely to see you, beautiful Kelly. Hi, Laura. Lovely to see you too, darling. Loopy Loo, I have the perfect mirror. My 21-year-old son, stop playing the victim. Mum is his favorite phrase. What a beautiful mirror our children are, right? Everything round about us, everything. So, a little bit of straight talking today, okay? But you can be free of suffering, okay? You can be, all right? Not saying you're never going to suffer again. Not saying you're never ever in your life going to have a down day or feel a bit of anxiety or have a bit of depression or have a situation with a friend or a relative or your job, or that's called being human. Okay. But what we do is we learn to navigate it better and we learn to navigate it quicker. And we have these tools in our toolkit that allow us to see it for what it is, to have gratitude, to have acceptance, to have forgiveness, to have all the things that we're working on. Okay. And that brings you to freedom, free from suffering. True freedom is freedom from all. It's free from other people's suffering. Okay. All we can do is help ourselves. We have free will, okay? But I don't have free will over you. That's not, you have free will. I can't interfere in your free will. And if I do interfere in your free will, I'm in karma for that. And it's going to be worse for you. Please, please, please realize this, okay? If we are telling other people what to do, you're interfering with their free will. And I'll come back on you and it'll get worse for them. We can only do us. We can only make up because of free will. Okay, because of free will. And if we believe in free will, we believe in freedom, we have to allow other people to have it And that's your acceptance. Okay. We're at this point in Earth human existence whereby we have access to God. We have access to the original creator of our soul. We have access to that divinity, whatever term you want to use it. And this is what this is about. This is between you and God. This is between you. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Everything else is a memory, a program, an emotion, all to help you learn, all to help you grow, all to teach you, all these things, all these things, all these things. But what's it really about? And that's up to you to ask yourself that. Very hard to stay in our own lane. That's the shift, though. Stay in ourselves, even when it's uncomfortable. As but they're still communicating all the time. That's awesome, Loopy Loo. So for anyone who is, this is just like a little shout out to everybody, okay, to just take control of your life again. Take control of it, okay, because only you do. Unless you're in victimhood, you're gonna let somebody else be in control of your life, okay? Unless you're, in drama, you're gonna let other people take control of your life. Unless you're allowing people to judge you, you're judging other people. Be free. Be free, my brothers and sisters across earth. Please free yourself of your suffering. Start small. Get up 10 minutes early. Go and sit outside, get your feet in the ground, have a glass of water before you have your coffee. Do the things. Do the things for yourself. Don't look outside for validation. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Don't look outside you. It's all you. It's all you. If you need any extra support, you know where to find me. The link for Patreon and my website will be in the description somewhere. But I'm not here to punt that. I'm genuinely just here to offer this advice, okay? So, you need to take my advice. You can continue on with whatever you're doing. That's your free will. I'm not interfering in that. This is just an inspired opportunity. It's an inspired opportunity to maybe know that maybe, the original creator of your soul is sending you a little message today. Maybe there's a little nugget of inspiration in this for you to have a better life. Because this is what it's all about. Better and 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 better. Better and better doesn't mean that there aren't going to be hard times. Better and better doesn't mean that there aren't, people aren't going to die and you're going to be sad about it. Better and better doesn't mean that there isn't going to be illness. But it doesn't mean any of that. It means that we're getting better and better at being free. We're being better and better in accepting, okay? We're getting better and better at not being victims. We're being better and better at not judging people. And not judging ourselves. We're getting better and better and better at truly stepping into spaces of unconditional love. Oh, you like my sparkly hats? Oh, do you want to see? This one is ridiculous. Do you want to see an even more ridiculous one? Oh, hold on. Ooh. Right, hold on. So, do you ever have that friend? Do you ever have that friend that just takes things too far? Do you have a friend that takes things too far? Do you know somebody in your life that maybe just takes? When I said that Off to Glasgow. Off to Glasgow. Glasgow. I might be that person who takes things a little bit too far. What what do we think? I mean, talking about like mirrors, talking about reflections. You don't even know if I'm happy or not. Of course you do. Of course you know. You know that I'm smiling under this. Like, how can you not smile? Ah, and there we are. I'm gonna leave you all with this beautiful sight. And if you made it to the end of the video, then there you go. There you go. There's a little bit of humor at the end of the mirror. At the end of the mirror. At the end of this video for you. So you all go and have a beautifully sparkly day. And this is what I'm talking about joy. Like, just live your life, you know? I love you. Have the most beautiful day of heaven and earth, and no matter what it is you're going through right now, okay? Never give up. Reach out to somebody, ask for help. Don't be alone. Talk about stuff. Talk about stuff to people that you can trust, that can give you good advice. And then if somebody's giving you advice, you don't have to take it, but also, like, do something to change your life, okay? Do it. Change your life. The disco ball has spoken. And that, my friends, concludes another live video, an energetic update by Ascension Evolution. I'm Joanne. I love you. Over and out.